Welcome to another episode of Course Corner. Today, I know you've all been waiting for it, but this is your video on the 8th hole to let you know what's going on, what's going to change, and the things that are about to happen to your course. So we're up here at the tee. Now the tee is looking a lot more dead than it did a little while ago. We've been through and sprayed out the grass, and this is the starting point of our project. So this tee is actually going to go down. So in order to get the tee at the right height, we're taking about 2 meters out of this tee, and we're going to cut this into the hill. So this sits a bit lower. We're also bringing it across a bit further. So when we come across, the tee will now come out probably a little bit towards, fall off the hill, out to here. So you'll have some options about where you want to tee off, which still put us in the right spot for when we go across the creek. So this area will come forward, pretty much the same depth that we've got now, and this will give you a great new teeing spot. Okay, now we've moved down a little bit further down the fairway, so this is going to be part of your new fairway complex. So one of the big things that we wanted to make sure is that this hole appealed to all of our members and gave everyone a different way to play the hole. So this area here is going to be all levelled out. I know that seems a bit strange at the moment, but if you look over here, this is the line of the dead grass. We're going to move this a little bit further, and this is where your cut's going to start. And this is all going to be levelled out. The area at the bank is going to be raised up by about 1 metre, so that this whole run down here will not kick you into the creek like it may have in the past, but instead give you an option to just bunt it down here and have an easier way to get across the hole. If you feel you're strong enough to get across the creek, well, you'll still have that option. But we wanted to make sure that all of our members had a really good way of playing this hole. You can see here in the ground, as we come over this way, we've even dug some test holes here in the ground just to see what we've got. We've been really encouraged that we've got nice soil under there to deal with. So we're really looking forward to getting in here, and that's going to happen in the next week or so, having the machinery in here to start cutting this fairway. So we've worked our way now across to the other side of the creek to where the more adventurous of you might be hitting your tee shot, or where you'll be hitting second shots too if you want to lay up before the green. So if you look over here, this is obviously where our net's going to go. Our protective barrier is being installed very soon. We've got our post positions all marked out, ready to go. And this net's going to be 60 metres wide and 25 metres high. So it's a nice large thing to catch any really errant shots. If you go anywhere near it though, you're going to be out of bounds. So there's going to be a new out of bounds line that goes down this fence line. It'll be anything that touches the net will be well and truly out. So we want to encourage people to be as close to the creek as they can and remain safe and stay nowhere near this fence. This is obviously trying to keep it as safe as possible for our neighbours. So we want you to try and take on this hole the way it should be taken on, which is by taking on the creek a bit more. As we talk about the fairway on this side, this fairway is also going to be levelled out a bit more. So at the moment everything slopes off to the creek. We're going to take a little bit of that slope out so that if you get further towards the creek side, it doesn't automatically kick you into the water, which will then mean that you don't have that desire to get as close to the out of bounds fence. So as we make that cut, you'll have a nice receptive landing zone here, either for your first shot or for your second shot. We finally reached the green area. No works are happening to the green in this project, so that's being left exactly how it is. But basically this whole fairway, as we wrap around this way, will be modified. So this will be sculpted out. So in the next couple of weeks, this fairway will start to look like the other side of the fairway, where it will be brown and killed off, so that we can then scrape the topsoil off, stockpile it, and then reuse it later in the project. While we're doing that, this will become a drop zone area for this hole. So if you end up in the dead area or the reconstructed area, we'll create a drop zone area here so that you can take a free drop and play up to the green from here, so that we'll always have this hole in play through the construction period. One of the additional things that we're doing here to make this hole more functional and also to improve the quality of the water in the creek is to change this drain from a drain into a retention area. We're going to build that out, put some more rock in there, put some sleepers in there to try and filter the water as it comes through, which will also restrict the ability of people, exceptionally long hitters, to try and go for the green from the tee. We've seen that as a risk from the trajectory study that we did, so we're trying to get rid of that as a problem. What that will also do is it'll mean you'll have a choice from if you lay up short of the creek, you'll have to decide whether you want to go for the green for your second shot or whether you lay up short. So there'll be lots of different options, lots of ways for you to make a good score or possibly a not so good score. So we're looking to make this as much risk reward as we can, and we hope that that'll really make this hole as special as you remember it to be. But that's a summary of the whole hole. We're starting work on this in the next week with the fairways. Obviously we've started work with the tree removal and the fence. Everything has started, and we're hoping that construction will be finished by the end of May with a target of being in play for the start of October this year. We hope that you're as excited about it as we are. We're really looking forward to bringing this hole back to fruition at Ashgrove.